Hey everyone, if you have ever thought of living full-time in an RV, we are going to do a short video here talking about transitioning from living a traditional lifestyle, living in a house, to transitioning to an RV full-time.
Go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about full-time RV living, maybe more specifically with a family, and let's go ahead and jump into this video.
So the number one thing that you're going to face when you're thinking about full-time RVing is, what do I do with all of my stuff, right? You probably have collected a lot of stuff over the years. You have a bunch of stuff in your house. What are you going to do with all this stuff? The one thing that we did with our stuff, we actually move around a lot, which is why we decided that RVing would maybe be a better option than just moving from place to place. So we didn't have a bunch of stuff, but the stuff that we did have, we just sold it. We got rid of it. We got rid of clothes that we didn't wear. We got rid of shoes that we didn't need. And even after moving into an RV, we realized there's still a lot of stuff that we didn't need. So we continued to get rid of stuff. But I would just say, don't have many attachments to things, right? Like, the whole point of simplifying your lifestyle is to get rid of things that don't really matter, right? Don't get rid of, who cares about the couch? Who cares about those things? They don't really matter. And to enjoy our life and to make memories with our family. So number one thing is, be willing to just get rid of as much as you can and simplify your life. The thing that's cool about RVs is that as soon as you buy an RV, they usually have all of your furniture and appliances and everything in them. So you really don't need anything but you, yourself, your family, and your clothes.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more about that too, because yes, a couch, I feel like a couch is like, it's easy, right? Put it up on Marketplace, but the things, right? Like, we lived, like Donnie said, kind of all over the place for the past 12 years. We've moved almost every single year. So I thought, lived, and I think compared to most people, lived pretty minimally. But when we were trying to like downsize and get rid of a lot of our stuff to move into an RV, it was not overwhelming, but it definitely took time. So I'd say give yourself time to like go through your stuff. What I did was, I had maybe 5 body lotions, right? I got rid of 4 and I kept 1. I kept 1 of everything, even shampoos, just little stuff like that that you accumulate that you don't really think about. Face creams, as women, we probably have 5, 10 of like the same thing that does the same thing. So I did that. Same with our son. If he had 10 black shirts, maybe I got rid of 8 of them and kept 2 of them to downsize on our clothes, which we really didn't have to do too much with him. With his shoes, we definitely did, but we like sold a lot of shoes on Marketplace. And then sentimental things that we kept, we got storage for it, right? Like, get a little, if you have like a home base area where you live, you can get a little storage closet and throw a few things in there. For us, the way we were living, we didn't need a whole big storage unit, but there are going to be things that you don't necessarily want to bring with you, but you don't want to lose, and that makes sense too. But you can always get a little closet and fill that up first and have that stuff already there, and then the rest of your stuff in your home you can kind of go through and get rid of.
And number 2, be prepared for a new lifestyle. So one thing about RVing is there are a bunch of different types of RV parks and resorts. Some of the resorts are going to have swimming pools and slides and restaurants. And then you can live really simply and be at an RV park, or, there's harvest hosts, you can boondock. So just be open-minded. Be willing to try different types of RV living until you find something that's right for you, right? You may be used to just living in a neighborhood with your neighbors, and, that's just your comfort level. And then you're going to start RVing, and you have your home on wheels. So regardless of where you're at, you're always going to have your stuff, but just be open-minded to what you actually want in your surroundings. Some people like to be closer to nature. Some people still like the amenities of a town and being able to go to a store and being able to have neighbors and community and being able to do events. Some people really love their amenities like pools and fitness centers. So just be open-minded, because there are a lot of different ways to celebrate and live on your home on wheels.
Yeah. Another thing I would say is, don't feel like you have to have all of the things right at the beginning. We had never camped before we decided to do this like full time. So I was going on YouTube, Googling all the RV accessories and RV organization and, everything that people had. And I felt like I had to have all of these things at the beginning. And we didn't end up we probably got more than we needed, But at the same time, bedding and rugs and all that stuff, I didn't get any of that at the beginning. And I'm actually glad I didn't, because living with a lot of the stuff that we had in our sticks and bricks home, like our son's bedding, we didn't have to get special stuff like that. Even ours, like our sheets still fit. You don't need to get RV specific stuff for everything in your RV, even the outdoor rugs and just all the extra stuff that you don't really need to just get on the road and go. Don't feel like you need to get all that stuff from the beginning. I actually made another video that's 10 things that you actually need to get in your RV and go on your first trip. So I'll link that here if you guys want to watch that. But besides those things, there's not many other things that are absolute necessities that you need right from the beginning. So don't get overwhelmed with all of the things and buying all the accessories. Yes, you want to make it feel like home. And we've been living in ours almost 5 months now. And that's still like a work in progress. I didn't feel like I needed to do that from the beginning. So that is another tip that I have, is don't get overwhelmed with buying all the things. Another thing I did from the beginning, before we actually even got the RV, there was a transition stage where we ordered it, right? And between the time we ordered it and we moved in, and during that time, I actually went on YouTube and I watched a tour like of the model that we got, and I almost mapped out where I wanted to store things. So like spices, silverware, appliances that we were bringing, just so I had an idea of, this kind of goes back to our first thing of getting rid of things. I had an idea of like what would fit in places. I definitely underestimated, but it actually gave me a good mind map of what was going where and what are some things that I should get rid of, even appliance wise, like my KitchenAid mixer. We looked over and Donnie's like, where are we going to put that? Like where, I mean, there are places, but it's like there's other things that I had priority over that, right? So that's a good way of kind of mentally eliminating things, right? And getting rid of things that you know aren't going to fit, or maybe won't fit in places that you want them. But that was really helpful for me, because I like things in certain places and to fit in certain places, and I like our spices somewhere where we can reach them while we're cooking. So if you just watch a tour of your model, you can kind of get an idea of what will fit where and where you want things, so you can, like, again, mentally just eliminate things that you want to get rid of.
The next big thing that I'll say is have a maintenance schedule. So like when you're living in a physical house, like your maintenance schedule probably includes changing an air filter from time to time, maybe vacuuming, cleaning out your washer and dryer from time to time, right? Like there's a very low maintenance schedule that most of us have when we live in a brick and mortar house, if you want to call it that. In an RV, because you are essentially an earthquake going down the road, is how our salesman explained it to us when we were buying our first fifth wheel, you want to make sure that you have a consistent maintenance schedule, making sure you're checking, screws and cabinets, checking your tires, checking, your axles, checking everything, because this is your home on wheels, and you want to try to make sure that it is the most enjoyable experience as possible. And, a screw being loose may not be a big deal where it's like you could just tighten it, but it does become a big deal if it's not tightened and you're going down the road, right? It can break the cabinet, it can strip out the whole, you know what I mean? It can cause a lot of issues. So having a consistent maintenance schedule is crucial to you just being able to maintain your home on wheels, and then also just the safety of your family. And this is going to be my final tip. I don't know if Lauren has another tip, but my final tip is to just take your time and enjoy the journey. A lot of times before we would RV, I enjoyed, driving, and I would drive. I'm not going to say I drove fast, but I drove faster than I probably should have. And with an RV, we don't go over 65. We stay usually in the right lane, middle lane if we're, in somewhere where there's heavy on and off traffic. Backing up is something that you should just take your time with. Just everything is just going to be slower paced. And that's okay. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel like you have to get to that new destination as fast as possible. You really need to just slow down and embrace your journey. Because at the end of the day, one thing is you want to enjoy your journey, but the other thing is you're towing your home on wheels, and there's no reason to rush to maybe, hit something, or to hit bumps more than you need to, or to feel like, you need to do something in a rush that maybe is going to put you or your family in danger, or even those other people that are on the road in danger. So just take your time, enjoy the journey. We try to keep travel days under 4 hours if possible. And so it's just been a really cool journey. And just be open-minded. That's the biggest thing I can say. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to learn a lot about yourself and your family. And you're going to learn about what you enjoy about RVing and what places you like. So just embrace the journey. Don't be in a rush. And good luck on your new adventure, full-time RVing.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions in the comments below about anything maybe we didn't cover. And if you are an experienced RVer, what did we miss? Like, what do people have to do to prepare for this lifestyle? Leave those in the comments as well. But we will see you guys in the next video.